Building.
What up, y'all? You know who it is. Your boy JD Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Christian. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it. Yeah!
BTBTV. Christian, man. Yo, born, let's get him, man. Yeah, right never off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and beef cool as a fan. BTBTV, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Hop on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool on your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware, cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. But we the best, I swear. We the best, I swear.
New Jersey, y'all.
A project politics, my mood kinda sick. Name well known from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick rap's door all pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts. We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the roast. I'm the great black hope.
Thomas PK, what up,
and
bro?
Team and they know it coast to coast and it just ain't fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you can be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware, cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best, you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair.
Jersey in the building. We bully the book.
Just ain't fair, man.
Come in here and get off your record. Come on,
here we go, y'all. Here we go. One more Christian song before we start. You know, we repping Jersey, man. We repping Jersey today.
Yo, born. Show them how we do
How we do, man. BTBTV. We bully the bullies. No run, no retreat.
Yeah.
BTBTV. One more time for I am back. Y'all slow niggas. Let's go.
Right. Yo. John Gotti flow, rap Pablo. Escobar status, rap game, call it yo. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa.
Nope.
Y'all wake up,
not at all.
Twitching.
Need the
flocks. I wake up, everyday mission. It's $1 million notes. Dominoes, bodies drop, rot stink like holidays. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have. Got that and then some, and then some. My ones on overload, say y'all overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope. The okie doke, we don't go for that. All she wrote, another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folks who want to play to them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting to their life movie, curtain closed. Nowadays, your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats, 666, the devil on his shoulder, won the death match. Reminiscing when more street ninjas was off the hook, chasing D's up off the block, trying to run and get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old and he tough to play with. He don't go to playgrounds, that's his fiends who want their veins stick. We can't miss, we can hit the target with our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half brainless. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost trying to haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folk who want to play to them gun cream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafio. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting to they like movie, curtain closed. Yeah, BTBTV. It's the movement, man. You're born. You're born, let's get 'em. Let's get 'em. Kaz, we up in here, man. Hood famous.
Yeah, them dudes definitely look zesty, team member. Them dudes definitely look zesty. Well, I want to show y'all something real quick. Yo, first of all, let me shout out my boy Big E in the building. You know what I'm saying? My boy Big E in the building. I got my boy Mac Mizzle in the building. I got the hood blogging coming up soon. Yo, New Jersey trash, yeah. I hear you, bruh. Yo, I'm gonna let you, God in them streets. Salute, bruh. I see you in the building.
Yeah, peace, man. My joint went down for a minute.
Now I understand, but you know what the topic is, right?
Yeah, you told me early this morning, you proving that it all started in New Jersey with my man
Duke
writing
Bootie
doing the album for Grandmaster Flash, you know.
and the Furious Five, yeah.
Nah.
So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm about to show y'all something real quick. Let me send it to myself an email so y'all can see it. I'm gonna send it to myself an email so y'all can see it. Photos. And send. Now y'all can salute me, but what I'm about to show y'all something, I want y'all to read and get a better understanding before we get into the topic. So this is how we're gonna do it. Yo, first of all, let me say peace to the 5% nation, the guys and nurse. Salam alaikum, alhamdulillah, rahmatullah, and all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is the King, New Jersey. This is BTBTV. We bully the bullies. I'm your honorable host, born divine almighty Allah. I'm up here with the God in them streets, born. You know what I'm saying? The OG born. I got Mac Mizzle in the building, and I got Big E in the building, man. So let me let y'all see what I'm talking about before y'all start crying. Oh, you wrong, Lord. You wrong, this and that. Nah, bruh. I'm right. Try to tell everybody, I remember when I was a kid, man. When I was a little kid. I remember them jams at the park, bruh. I just want y'all to see something, man. And then we're going to build off of that. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, boy. Here we go. I want y'all to see this. Hold up. Let me blow it up for y'all some. I'll take it down a little bit. Okay, here we go, y'all. Let me know if y'all can see this. I'm about to put it up on the screen. Do I need to blow up some more for y'all?
If you could.
All right, hold on. Let me blow up some more for y'all real quick. Here we go. Hold on, where we go? Right here. On self. Here we go. All right. Now y'all can't really see that, can ya? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. I can't go to one. We got to micromanage real quick. I can read it to y'all. Born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey, his best known single, The Message, was written in his basement with Clifton, Jiggs, Chase, and was released in 1982 on Sugar Hill Records, featuring rappers Duke Bootie and Melly Mel. The record label marketed the song under the name Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Later collaborated again with Melly on the singles Message 2 and New York, in which the latter was created to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. After concluding his music career in the early 1990s, Duke Bootie acquired teaching certifications and became an educator in the Plainfield, New Jersey Public School District. Later, Duke Bootie was a professor of English at Montclair State University and Savannah State University. All right. Well, y'all, I'm gonna show you something else real quick. Go to the next one. Edward Fletcher, known by his stage name Duke Bootie, born June 6, 1951, passed January 13, 2021. Edward Fletcher, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey, is best known for his single The Message, was written in his basement with Clifton. All right. So, yeah. I'm telling y'all, I've been telling y'all for a minute now. I rocks with New York. I rocks with the Bronx. I rocks with Queen, Manhattan, Brooklyn in the building. You know what I'm saying? I rocks with Staten Island, Rochester, all that. What I'm telling you is Duke Bootie is a legend from Elizabeth, New Jersey that wrote The Message. He wrote it. So how do Bronx get all the credit for something that was wrote in Elizabeth in a man's basement and then pushed out there? Let me ask y'all OGs that. You got two OGs in the building.
My man,
hey, well, wouldn't that be the same way that in the same way that didn't one of them Sugar Hill dudes steal all the Cass music? Like, didn't he steal Cass lyrics or his bars to put in that song?
The Sugar Hill Gang was the record label Flash the Furious 5 that was on. But what I'm saying is The Message 1 and Message 2 was wrote by Duke Bootie from Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Well, it's the first time I ever heard the dude's name. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, like, how do that happen in the beginning? It's like I said, to me, we didn't know business at the time. You know, some of the all-time classics came from dudes that wasn't even 18 years old. A lot of them dudes was 16, 17, barely turned 18 when they wrote them classics, bro. So we didn't know business when everybody else knew business when we didn't. So to me, in the beginning stages of it, it was easy to steal it because, you know, again, we just didn't know the business side of things like that. So it's kind of easy when you say, how could he do it in the beginning when nobody knew it was going to grow to where it is today?
Yeah. And the year he was born, he's born in what I took the year he was born. Hold up. The year he was born, what year was he born? He's born June 6, 1951. Brian Waters in the building. Salute, my bro. Eastwood, stand up.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what they say. Tell the truth and shame the devil. So y'all punk ass.
Now we ain't gonna disrespect the Bronx, man, because a lot of them didn't know, man. So we got to school them. We got them school them, man.
True.
Hey, Born.
A lot of them will be ignorant too.
Just like we spoke about it the other day, right? As far as this hip hop thing is concerned, And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, may say, oh, well, you just hating. I'm going to say that they gave the title to what we was doing as far as calling it hip hop. And because of Cool Herc and African Bambaataa and all of them, they basically got the credit for it. But
Yeah,
for me coming out of that era of time, hip hop was going on long before, you know, they gave it the title. Because hip hop consists of scratching the records. And like I told you back then, going all the way back to Good Times, you know, got to check out the Avenue, Set It Off, all them records that was so-called a part of the disco era. Those were the records that individuals was using to scratch on. Like I said, also on my platform, I got one up there showing the peak caboose. We got a dude from out our way in Cypress Hills, because that was another thing that my projects was very well known for in Brooklyn. Everybody used to come from all over Brooklyn, parts of Queens, everything. You got a man, his name was Mr. Ellis. Matter of fact, me and his daughter, Robin Ellis, we went to school together. I know his whole family. They lived over there on the southern side of projects. He made a joint that was called the Kickin' Coffin. He was the first one to come out with a coffin with 2 turntables in it. After that, I got a picture. I was fortunate. You go up on my channel, you'll see it, where it was a peak caboose. They lived inside the project on the same side, Sutter Avenue, where he took the back of a train and put 2 turntables in it. We also had over on Pine Street, he made another design for another DJ at that time called DJ Haswell. He got a lot to do with those that's going back to those times. Brownsville, a well-known group called the Dance Masters that had the 456 CeeLo. If you went out to Queens at that time, I used to go to a spot in Corona called 127 Park. We used to call it Bootie Land. And the cats that was out there at that time, and everybody gonna know this that's out that era, they was called New Sound. And when you used to get off the number 7 train out there, you didn't even need to know the directions to the park, because the music was so loud, it would take you directly into the park. Of course, during that time, the dance that was out was the Freak and everything else. You know, you had the Disco Twins. You had Brooklyn Queens Day, where we used to go out the Queens Bridge, and right under the train that goes over to Midtown and whatever, they would have speakers set up, and you would have all the DJs practically from New York that would come there for that day. You know what I'm saying? To put on.
Hey, yo, God. Now I'm bringing up the legend of Duke Bootie right now. I got the video. I want y'all to listen to it, man. Shout
All
out to
right.
Duke Bootie. Shout out to Elizabeth, New Jersey. Let's get it poppin', yo.
The music industry.
Well, right after college, I decided that I wanted to play music. And I started in about 1975.
1970.
Yeah, and, you know, kind of the rest is history.
Yeah. What are some of your works that include other artists from that time?
Okay, well, I played with a lot of people, rock people like Dr. John, jazz people like Miles Davis, but then I made big hits with rap artists like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and the Sugar Hill Gang.
That's dope. So when did you decide that it was finally time to do something different and switch careers?
You know, it's funny. I think I told you about that because you really made me think about that again. I had 8 acts. I was making money, and I used to threaten, you know, you kids are driving me nuts. You know, 8 acts, 30, 40 kids. You book a kid for Norway or Finland, and 3 days before he's leaving, he gets arrested for child support. So now I got to get him out. Another kid. So it was driving me nuts on one hand. But then I was in England. We were the first crew of people who were doing remixes. And I was making quite a bit of money for about 3 weeks over there, of which I used to spend 4 months a year in England. And my daughter had a seizure. She was like 2.5. My wife called and said she was in the hospital. And
1975, bro, 1975.
Bad. What can I do? My wife said she knew how much money we were making, which was quite a bit for 3 weeks then, and still it's money now. And she said, well, no, stay and see what happened. And what happened was my daughter never had another seizure. She was all right. But after my wife got through talking to me, my mother called me. And my mother said, you better get your ass on the first plane home. Your daughter is in the hospital. I know you're making money. Well, how much money would you have to make if your daughter died? It would make it worth it. And I felt like a piece of you know what. And I thought about it. I said, I never want to feel like this again. So I decided it was time for me to stop traveling and be home. And that's kind of what I did. And I had enough success. I had made enough money. First of all, teaching is the family business. My mother's a teacher. My father was a teacher. My grandmother taught at a country school in Georgia. My daughter is a third grade teacher. My daughter-in-law is a high school teacher. My son-in-law is an administrator at Rutgers. It was the family business. I was never going to teach. Not never.
Look at you now.
25 years. As a matter of fact, high school for 14, now college for 13, because I taught high school and college for a while, only college for about the last 12. And in the last 10 years, I've missed 2 classes.
That's amazing.
10 years.
So you heard Duke Bootie. He's a college professor now, but what did he just tell y'all? He started music in 1975. Oh, y'all there? Can y'all hear me?
So what I'm asking, is he the first one to coin it hip hop? Is that what you said? Because the music itself was.
I'm not saying he's the first one to coin the hip hop. What I'm saying is the message was considered really the first real hip hop album, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I guess it would. I guess so.
Yeah.
So if it was the first hip hop album, and he wrote for most of the artists on that album for that song, The Message, what did that make him? Doesn't it make him an originator of hip hop? And he's not from Bronx, he's from Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying, where I'm confused at is, okay, if people were already rapping, right, but it just wasn't called rap, it just wasn't called hip hop, but people were already rhyming words, like, you know what I mean? So, like I say, it's like, is he the first one that would coin it? You know, that would call it hip hop, because people were already singing with rhymes. They were, you know, of course, you know, it was already people that were already doing it. It just wasn't called rap. It just wasn't called hip hop at the time. So what I'm asking, if
it was always called rap,
you said like he's the dude that coined it hip hop, huh?
It was always called rap. The hip hop, the hippie to the hippity hip hop, you don't stop. You rock with the dang bang boogie, the boogie. He wrote that song to the boogity B. He wrote it. So who called it hip hop? If he said the hip hop, the hip to the hippity hip hop, you don't stop, you don't rock. If he wrote that song, he coined the name hip hop, right?
Well, I mean, I would say that the East Coast brothers would have to really answer that, because it came from y'all way. So
your guy in the
by
street.
the time it was like, yeah, it was already hip hop or rap by the time we got it. So I mean,
yeah,
but I thought people were already rapping though. But it was people already rapping before it was actually called that, right?
Exactly.
They was rapping before it called, yeah.
just like I told Born the other day when I put my joint up, and like we all know, if we go through our comments, a lot of times it's good to go through your comments
Sylvia,
because
hold on, part self. Sylvia Wright did not write Rapper's Delight. She took credit for Rapper's Delight. Sylvia Robinson owned the record label, and she took everybody's material. She kept it for herself, like she was the one. She took a publisher, but they didn't know about publishing. Brandy Coke.
Hey, Born, you finna have them New Yorkers on your head, Born. They finna be on your head, Born.
I ain't gonna let them get on the guard's head, because that's the good part about having me here, because I'm willing to go up against any of them cats if they got something to say, because experience is the best teacher. So like I was stating, when I was up in my comments, another brother brought to me that Grandmaster Flash got his name from a well-known DJ that was out in Brooklyn at that time, that used to DJ out in St. John's Park across from Albany Projects, and his name was Grandmaster Flowers. Okay, so it's a lot of things that they put out there that they want to take credit for, but that ain't the reality, because like I said, the hip hop era and the disco era is all mixed kind of together, because once the brothers started getting out and having park jams, and the DJ was the #1 cat, but all of a sudden with the DJ, they calling it rap, but initially he was called a MC. All right.
Yeah.
So once brothers started coming out and they was scratching good times, you start hearing brothers, yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all, like Spoonie G, Busy B, all of them, like, a lot of individuals say, well, yo, the early era of hip hop was, ABC type, but it's still the foundation of hip hop. And all I'm saying is that was something that was going on in all 5 boroughs. I go up to the Bronx, you had a spot called I think it was 351 or 357 or whatever, because most of these places were parks. That's why they called them park jams. That's why when you look and the few pictures that they got from back in them days, because once again, everybody was young. We was teenagers. I was 14, 15, 16 years old, moving around these different boroughs, while this whole thing, which we call now hip hop, was coming together. So once again, it's always going to be brought up as you go back in time. You're going to see people, just like inventions and everything else that we did as black people, that you thought somebody else was the creator of that. But now when somebody come and give you the knowledge and the facts to how it was created, or they was the originators of it, then it's a whole different reality that we dealing with. So like I said, I'm not going against what they created in the Bronx. What I'm going against is that y'all was the ones that basically labeled it. And what Born is saying by this man, saying that they did that down their basement, because I've heard other things. I know an older guard named Now Allah that told me he gave Flash, the message or whatever. So I'm not going dispute who did what, but at the end of the day, we gonna get some clarity, because by Born bringing out this man right here, and we see that he definitely was involved with the early stages of hip hop. And once again, like he said, to the hop, that's already talking about hip hop. So we got a lot of people that's going to say, well, it was the Bronx. But like I said, it was going on in all 5 boroughs. And once the DJ started scratching the music and making different sounds out of those records, that was the foundation of hip hop. And then you had the MC that came along. Whether they was able to make bars and 16s and what it all developed into, it just was in its natural and organic state.
Hey, hold up. Somebody.
Okay, so let me ask this.
Hold on 1 second. Hold up. Somebody asked something. They said, so New York ain't nothing. We ain't say New York ain't have nothing. But everything was just built in New York. It was built in New York, New Jersey, man, Connecticut, Philly. You forgot about Philly too. So it was a lot of rappers in the early 80s and late 70s, man, that contributed to it. You know what I'm saying? So we can't say it just came from one place. If one place has got recognition because it got big in that place. Wherever something get big at, like hockey. We know a black man have been in hockey in Canada, black Canadian.
No, he didn't.
But let me ask a question. Let me ask a question on what Observer Melanin just said. Okay, he started off the rap. I said the hippie to the hippie. So is that like is that just how he started off his rap, or is you saying like that's where it was officially named hip hop? Because it sounds like he just starting off the song with it. You know, like when is it? Like when can the people in New York or Jersey? When do y'all say that it was like what year do y'all say it was actually coined hip hop?
Bro, hold on, bro. Elizabeth, New Jersey. Come on, man. I get it. You from New
I don't know.
Jersey?
I'm asking, bro. I'm from Compton,
I know.
so I'm asking
I
my
know,
East
King.
Coast.
Oh no, respectfully, Biggie, respectfully. I
Okay,
know,
King, got you.
but I know he from New Jersey. But come on, bro. Like now,
bro, it's already set. It's the proof is in the pudding, bro.
And King, I'm pretty sure. I'm positive that there were people from New Jersey. New Jersey is right there, so I'm positive there were people early that were part of hip hop, like that gentleman that you were playing in the video. I'm pretty sure he was there early, but now the whole thing is now trying to take the credit from the Bronx and now just give it to Elizabeth. That's a stretch. Don't you think that's a reach?
No, Meet the Flocks.
Okay, so when
He
was it
wrote
coined? When was it
Conventional,
coined?
and he wrote Rappers Delight for the Sugar Hill Gang.
Okay, so what year? So what year was this music genre considered hip hop? Like what? Like at what year do we consider it's hip hop now?
It's supposed to be 1973. 1973 is supposed to be the year that, you know, Kool Herc was in the apartment or whatever where he was at, and he decided to start calling it hip hop. And like I said, I'm not in disagreement with that as being a fact. All I'm saying is that it was going on, and they thought of what name would best describe this new style of music that we was hearing, and they called it hip hop. That's just like them bringing in the break dancing and the graffiti. I was a graffiti writer. All of these things was a part of our culture on the streets. Like I said, once again, the whole thing with cypher, the whole thing with b-boy stands, all that comes from our nation, because a lot of them individuals that eventually went on and got in the rap game were the same individuals that was on the sideline when we used to hold ciphers and be building with lessons and all that. And if you listen to brothers, how we quoted real fast back then, it always had like a self-style wisdom to it. And they took that self-style wisdom and they applied it to music and beats. And this is the foundation of creating hip hop. So, you know, nobody's denying them. All I'm saying is that what Bourne may be adding into it is that a foundational influence of hip hop also comes from Jersey, which is right, because any of those immediate states that was in close contact with New York, like Lord Jamar be arguing with individuals all the time. They be talking about you from New Rochelle. New Rochelle is 7 minutes outside of the Bronx. You know, Mount Vernon, Yonkers, all of that is still a part of the 5 boroughs, even though that's classified as Westchester County. And as being children, you know, we all adapt to what other children do.
Let me ask you a question. How far is Elizabeth, New Jersey from the Bronx?
About 20 minutes. I just told you the other day, I stay over there all the time when I used to go back and forth to New York because the hotels is a little bit cheaper, but I jump right on exit 13, go over the Gothridge Bridge, Verrazano, and I'm right on the Belt Parkway, depending on where I want to go in Brooklyn or Queens, whether I'm going to take the BQE or I'm going to take the Belt Parkway, but mainly the Belt Parkway because I live out in East New York, you know? So all of those is like, you know, right over, like I said, we had the garage. In the same time we had the garage, we had Zanzibar. So a lot of cats from New York, we used to go right over the bridge, right through the Holland Tunnel, and you right there at Zanzibar. So it's a lot of places that we was interconnected.
Andrew Green is not 45 minutes because you get the Bronx off of New Jersey Turnpike. And
no, I said about 20 minutes, God.
Andrew Green said, hold on. I said Andrew Green said 45 minutes. And I'm telling Andrew Green not, because you get the turnpike, you get off an exit, what's that exit 16 or something like that? And you'll be right, you'll be right in the Bronx. You'll be right.
That's if you going uptown. But if you going to Brooklyn, like I said, we get right there on exit 13. We go over to Gothridge, the Verrazano, and we right there.
Yep. The Gothridge Bridge, facts. The Gothridge Bridge take you past Staten Island, which is take us 5 to 10 minutes from Elizabeth to Staten Island. And then from Staten Island, you gotta hit the Verrazano's Bridge, right?
Right. So you're gonna go over the Gothridge, the Verrazano, and then you're gonna go right in the if you take the Brooklyn, you take the Belt Parkway, you're gonna go through Coney Island. If you vary off to the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, then that'll carry you going toward Manhattan or Queens.
The Bronx is not 45 minutes from Elizabeth, Andrew Green. I drove it many times, bruh.
Hey, so Born, let me ask a question. Where was this gentleman at all this time? Because you know, as somebody who
he passed,
grew up on the West Coast, right?
He passed in 2021, bruh.
Oh, okay. Well, but what I'm saying is, you know, from my perspective, you know, it was understood out here that, you know, that it started in New York, right? So this, like, to me, this is the first time that I'm hearing that, you know, like the Jersey thing. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you outside of New York, New Jersey, all that, if I'm talking to somebody out here and we talking about rap and we talking about of its origins, right? Would we say New York or New Jersey? Because from out here, it's understood that it's New York. You get what I'm saying?
I say it was a shared thing. We gotta say it was a shared thing because the first rap albums that made any noise, he was one of the foundational writers. The first ones that made any noise, he's one of the foundational writers. Rappers Delight and the Message too.
Mm. Hey, I want to kind of Observer. You said they turned it to hip hop. You said white people turned it
to hip hop in the
90s.
It changed to hip hop in the 90s. Was MTV raps called hip hop? Was BT Rap City called hip hop? No.
No,
The
no,
80s,
sir.
the pioneers of the 80s, which are all black men, no Latinos, went platinum. You know why they shut down rap music?
Tell him
They
like it
shut
is.
down rap music, bro, because rap music made the most black men millionaires in the history of the world. Now tell me I'm lying.
No, can't really argue that.
Tell me I'm lying. It was never hip hop. Now these young dudes, they so embedded, just like we wasn't never blacks. We was Negroes at one time. White people keep changing the name to change the game, to water it down so they can take it over. And that's what the hell they did. Because NWA is not hip hop. They were gangster rap. Were they not?
Facts.
I
Big
lived it.
facts.
All these
Okay.
young dudes saying hip hop. Black men need to stop saying hip hop because all the culture vultures are stealing our genre by saying hip hop.
No, it was always called rap. I consider it rap. When I say hip hop,
MTV, and BET made black men millionaires.
yeah, but listen, I understand what you're saying.
Big facts, yo.
What I'm saying, I understand everything you're
It's
saying.
all
You're
about the
100%
money.
right. I always called it rap. I started calling it hip hop because it sounded more culturally correct. Because rap, like you could rap to a chick, you could rap to this.
Bad Bunny is stealing, and eventually in 50 more years, them clowns is gonna take the word hip hop and say they started it. That's black men have to stay on point with what they create. If we created rap music,
Stand
that's why
10
they
toes
call
down.
rappers. They're not
Yep.
called hip hoppers. I hate it when I heard them words. I hate them. It sounds hideous. It sounds weak. We are rappers. Rappers rap to rap music. It's no
Facts.
other way.
Big facts.
And like I said, my boy Boo Shabazz from the Bronx. But I'm telling y'all, the only thing I'm saying is rap culture and rap music, New Jersey and New York would entwine with that because, like I said, we was right across the border from each other. It was easy for us to meet each other, mingle in clubs, dance, disco clubs, and all that. When you meet people, y'all do the same thing. Y'all get intertwined. It's already said that he was a writer, rappers alike, the message and the message too. He was a writer. So I don't know how many people he wrote rhymes for, but he wrote rhymes for somebody.
Hey, you didn't even have CDs in the 80s. You had cassette tapes.
Now you got the 80s, you had 8-tracks.
You had 8-tracks, early 80s.
Early
Came
80s.
around
Yeah, we was
83,
coming out of the
84.
70s. Yeah.
Hey, 82, cassette tapes took over. If you see all the 80s
Yeah.
cars, they got cassette tapes. I
Yeah.
had them. And then you used to take your Memorex tapes and record it off the radio from your boombox onto the cassette tape if you like the song to make a mix. Hey, bro, you 90s cats and on up, y'all have no idea what the history. I lived it. I'm a history book. I'm in the music.
Right too. You're right though, because it was called. You remember BT? It was called Rap City, and then with Yo MTV, it was called Yo MTV Raps. They wasn't using hip hop. They
It
wasn't
never
using
was
hip
hip
hop
hop
at
in
that
the
time.
80s. The pioneers didn't. Hey, bro, at the music awards, the next rap artist is, and then they play the songs, and then they say who the rap artist, what a rap artist won. If we keep changing the name, man, we watering our creation down, and we allowing other groups to steal our creation, and that's what they're doing. Fat Joe, and let me tell you something about this Fat Joke. He wouldn't have never came into play or Big Pun if Tupac and Biggie wasn't killed. Them two dudes, when Tupac got killed, that's when Jay-Z came on the scene. That's when Fat Joe. When I heard this dude, I'm like, what is this? Man, I wasn't even listening to that clown in the 90s. He wasn't even hot.
No, he wasn't.
So all of a sudden he got all this mouth and he trying to say, oh, we created 50%. Dude, y'all were nowhere in the mix in the 80s. I went to the concerts, dog. I used to see the Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, Houdini.
Disco
Grandmaster
Fever.
Flash and the Furious Five, all them, Dougie Fresh, KRS-One, all them used to tour together. LL Cool J, they used to have like 16 rappers. It was never called hip hop.
Can I ask you a question? Right?
Yeah,
If you from back then, right?
right,
Do you remember Youth in Action?
bro. It was
A,
so
ra-
many.
a radio a radio station. The reason why I'm asking you this is because once again, they don't give credit where credit is due. Okay?
Yeah,
Youth in Action in Brooklyn. They used to be up at Brooklyn Tech. It was called Youth in Action. And we had two brothers that was a part of our nation that was called C Divine, the Mastermind, and Just the Law, the Superstar. They was called the World Famous Supreme Team Show.
yes, yes. I
Okay?
remember them.
All right
A
then.
lot of
You
people
know,
in the 80s used they sample. The
okay,
world and the Dream Team show.
right.
The
They were
Dream
the
Team
first.
show,
Hey
show,
DJ.
Right,
show.
Yeah,
right.
hey DJ.
So,
Hey
so,
DJ.
so,
That's
right.
right.
Buffalo girls go around the outside, the enlightenment. They did all of that, and at that time, they mainly didn't have a bunch of MCs that was coming up on the show. The show consisted more of the DJ cutting and scratching the record. Remember, they used to use "Love Is the Message" with all the different type of sounds and
Yeah,
everything else that was in it. So once again, like I said, a lot of times they leave certain groups and certain people out of what is the foundation. You know, we call foundational Black
you
Americans
right.
and
You right. It's
everything else. They leave that part out, and just like I told Born, when they get up on all these shows, Chuck D, all of them, KRS-One. I remember when KRS-One was a graffiti writer. When he wrote KRS-One all over the train, because see, you got to understand when we talking about time, time is a metamorphosis that brings about a change. So what it was at the beginning, and even though we say rap, we can't go rap all the way without what they changed it to, the word hip hop, because the reason they changed it to that is so that they can include the graffiti, the breakdancing, and everything else that was going on along that time. And what I agree with you with your statement is that we always allow other people to take things that are our culture and define what they truly mean, not go into the essence of how it evolved, you know? So it's all a part of that. But like you said, it really basically started out as rap, the DJ and the MC. And then they put a title on it and say, well, this is what it is, and this is how they was able to include other people and everything else. Because just like Lord Jamar said, and everybody, it wasn't a lot of cameras. We was taking pictures. Remember down on 42nd Street, brothers took pictures with you with Polaroids. So we talking about the youth, and the youth wasn't walking around with cameras that every time they set up the system to the light pole and everything else, that they
That's a fact.
actually taking pictures of young black men. Because you know back then, individuals was going down on 42nd Street doing the breakdancing so they can make money. Just like individuals came up with the using like you know a basket or whatever, and they made drums out of it. You know, buckets. They would take buckets and go out there with drumsticks and play on the buckets and make money. So all these inventions that came about later on, and they started giving titles to it, that's their way of what we going through right now, where it's controversy over who created hip hop. You know, it's one thing that if you the father and the mother or something else, and he's the uncle or the aunt. The uncle and the aunt did not create that baby. They might have been the first ones in the hospital to hold the baby and everything else, but they did not create that baby. And that's what we're going through right now. I'm not knocking the Latino brothers. I'm not knocking the Jamaican brothers. I'm not knocking none of these other individuals. But when it comes right down to it, that was created from the young Black youth in the 5 boroughs and the attaching states of New York City.
Yo, the Hub Vlogger, man, you up here, man. What you got to say about it?
Much love and respect.
Twist.
Salute.
What it do, Twist?
Much love. Salute, Big A. Warren, you already know how we carry it. Salute to the whole panel. You know, pretty much I just been listening to the elders right now, you know, just letting them roll. I heard a few different things as well, as far as like, you know, maybe one of the older brothers can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, you know, before rap, didn't they call it like skeet bopping or something like that? It was something like, basically, you know, where they was doing rhymes before rap
You gotta understand what commercial music is. Rapper's Delight started the first commercial multi-platinum rap song. See, white people said, oh, that's a fad. It ain't gonna never last. I heard it, just like the earrings. We started that in the 80s, made it popular, right? We had one earring. 90s, they start wearing 2 earrings, right? Just like rap music, I will never, ever say hip hop because that's not the beginning. That's not the pioneers. The pioneers are rappers. Rappers rap to rap music. Where does hip hop come from? It started with, you know who hip hop started saying hip hop and it started catching? LL Cool J and KRS-One. That's who I first heard it. And I did not like what I heard because they didn't say it in the 80s. If you go on MTV, Yo MTV Raps, and listen to the old interviews and BET Rap City, them dudes ain't never say hip hop. You will never hear hip hop in any 80s other than Rapper's Delight. And he just used that as a lyrics. He used that as lyrics. That's why it's called Rapper's Delight.
And see, Dolores Tucker was going after rappers. She wasn't going after hip hoppers. You remember back when she was going after hip hop?
Yeah. I hate it. I hate those words. Because you got all these Spanish cats rapping. And then as it evolved, we're going to lose it because we allowed them to change the name. When you change the name, others claim the game.
Like people of color then, huh? So people, when you say hip hop, that's like saying people of color, right? Because
no, those are the culture vultures.
Everybody was black.
The culture vultures are hip hop. Rap music was made by black men exclusively.
But let's go further than that, right? We got to think, you say BET and MTV, but the biggest thing that we all watched was Ralph McDaniels back then.
He didn't make no millions. He didn't make no millions.
He didn't make millions, but what I'm saying is he was the first one to bring out the foundation of showing videos and everything else that was a part. You know what I'm saying?
They created the unfinished product.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
They created the unfinished product. They really started it. But what I grew up in was the 80s. They are pioneers. They made millions off of it.
We got somebody, Rob Dub TV.
Okay.
Can we get back to how hip hop started in New Jersey?
I told you, Born. I told you they was gonna be on your neck about that one, bro.
Yo, if the man make the two hottest songs that ever played that started off rap, how didn't it start? And they wrote the song in his basement in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
The category in the 80s was rap music, bro. At the award shows, they didn't say nothing about no damn hip hop.
No, what I'm talking about, it's not just we just we're breaking it down. We saying hip hop. You know, rap started first. It was rap, and then turned to hip hop.
We got to stop saying that, man. We got to take it back to what we created as black men, and that's rap music.
Facts.
Like,
It's rap music.
listen.
Period. Rap a lot.
Hey, the dude in UGK that got killed in California.
Yeah, tell it like it is.
He called his music country rap tunes.
Yep.
Right.
He did not say no damn hip hop. Hip hop is nothing. All the culture vultures are claiming hip hop because now in 50 years they can say, when we dead and gone and can't explain it, and these dudes in the 90s, 2000s and on out, they don't have no clue of the real history. It's lost. It will be lost in 30 years, and then white people gonna be talking about they made it. I said, so man, you know how many white rappers out here now?
Yeah.
And they making a ton of money because white people is spending that money on their own. They gonna pour it in, just like Taylor Swift. Come on, man. They trying to put Taylor Swift. Do you know they got Thriller? They don't even this is how disrespectful they are. What's that magazine? The big magazine? Stone. Rolling Stones. Do you know they don't even have Thriller in the top 10?
Yo, hold on 1 second, bro. Let me ask this question. When the questions come in with a cash, we gotta answer them.
Okay.
Why Eminem didn't get canceled calling a black woman an N-word? He never called her the N-word. He called her a black bitch. I heard the song.
It's still disrespectful. Why he didn't get canceled for just saying
that's still disrespectful though.
I know, but he
didn't get canceled.
You know why?
Niggas like 50 Cent brought him back, you know.
No, it's not even 50 Cent. Y'all know why? Salute Cross too. Much love and respect. You know why? Because the power infrastructure that them had behind them. He had Dre. He was pushed. Somebody had brought that up, basically saying it's crazy. Basically, like how they did with Drake. And if you think about it, when Eminem had came out, even though the type of music he was rapping about, you know what I'm saying, he was the only white boy.
Man, somebody got mute their mic. Hold on 1 second. Oh, that's you, Observer. Come back in. I'm gonna put you out to come back in because you echoing, bro.
Yeah, he was. You think about it, bro. He was the only white boy you seen. Not only did they push him out there, but they threw a do-rag on him. You dig what I'm saying? And he wasn't even talking no street stuff and all that. But you know, was put there for a reason, exactly to help wash up. You know the rap. You know what? And all that.
And I ain't even think about salute to everybody on I ain't think about it, Twiz. You said something important where the mockery always is that slight mockery by taking a white dude and putting a goddamn do-rag on his head. That shit crazy.
He can't get no waves.
Oh yeah, they said, and somebody said Eminem apologized. Fat Joe haven't apologized yet.
You know why Fat Joe ain't apologized though? Because of my fault, bro.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Twiz. You don't have to apologize for something that you never meant to say. We don't go around saying certain things and say, oh, my bad. Because they say, only time, be careful what you say when you get upset or you say something. When he did when he did all that and did that, when he talked about them black women, and then his apology was a black woman left him for somebody else. So if you was with black women, shit, that's going to happen on the regular. So we don't go out and call them out their name like that. But we have gave passes to the point now in our videos we address them as that, and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
Well, you know where the angle coming at, because I think somebody had discovered that audio and released it. You know, trying to put him out there because that was like some hidden music. But the issue come in where he had an issue because he ain't just say the B word. He said black. So that's right. That's heavy right there. But he was a plant. You know what I'm saying? Just like now, people you see when he get mentioned as one of the top rappers, it's just crazy to me how you got certain people that's supposed to be legends that be co-signing it.
And Jessica H, you're 100% right. A lot of black men do call our black women the queens.
But so, no, we're not going to say
listen. No, I'm just answering her question. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black men do that, but not all of us. So
No,
you
that's
can't.
not. But that's not even. That's not even. You can't even say that because at the end of the
Well, a
day,
bitch is a bitch, no matter what color she
exactly,
is.
exactly. No, but no, but the whole thing is, so do black women. You know what I'm saying? That's what you
Yeah.
know. That's what it said. I'm a bad what? You know what I'm saying? Oh, that a female be on the phone. Hey, bitch, this and that, like talking to each other. So you can't just sit up here and make it like you know what I'm saying that it's just used like that. That's just you know what I'm saying how we talk in the hood.
Hey, that's not. Hey,
I
that's
think
kind of. And I hear
Fat
what
Joe shit
Jessica
was
A
worse,
said,
man.
right?
Cause
Look, I
he
heard what
came from a
Jessica A
place
said,
of
right?
malice.
Hey,
But look,
somebody need to ask Fat Joe who produced this music. I bet you it was a black man. It wasn't no Latinos. The music
hey,
he
look.
rapped to,
Exactly. Digging
either
in the
that
Hey, let me
crates.
or
ask
now
Jessica this.
Scott Storch is a cold white boy. But you know who he copied off of.
Exactly.
But if you
Hey,
want to
let
go
me
back,
ask Trina this
Primo.
question. I
if,
mean,
Yo,
if,
pause
if
stuff.
you
You
want,
know.
let me ask Jessica
Hold up,
this.
somebody,
Jessica,
hold on one
y'all
second.
looked
Hold
up to
on one
Trina.
second. Calm
Oh,
down.
my
Hold on.
bad, my bad.
Somebody echoing, man. Trying to figure out who echoing. Yo, Big E, go out and come back in because that might be you echoing.
Yeah,
Big
I
E,
think it might be Big E headphones or something.
yeah, headphones, yeah.
but
Yeah.
they not including Fat Joe come from digging in the crates with Diamond D, Lord Finesse, Big L, and all of them. Another thing that they don't mention, y'all can look it up in the Source magazine. When Big Pun was coming out, he got a picture in there where he was thin. Big Pun was also a 5%er
Yeah.
before, you know what I'm saying, he really got with Fat Joe like that. So once again, a lot of times they not giving credit. Yeah, they the creators, but it's always a father that's the seed to the creation. So a lot of them dudes that was around us back then, no matter what country that they come from or whatever, they did not bring their influences, meaning the music that their mothers and fathers from those countries were playing inside their household to the rap game. They went according to what was going on out in the street. And all the way from fashions to everything else, they more or less copied our style. Like, you know, no disrespect to the Latinos, the Puerto Ricans, because that's mainly in East Coast, New York, Jersey, and everything else. But even when we was wearing Adidas, the only thing that they contribute was that they put on the Adidas and they put on fat, different color shoestrings. We never went with that. We might get some different color shoestrings, but we're not going to get the real big fat ones. So at the end of the day, you always going to have people that's going to come along from what you created and they may add on to it, but they still cannot say that they are the creators. And that's the problem that Fat Joe got right now, because when he was raised up in there in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a Puerto Rican dominance when it came to what was going on out in the streets, from the fashions to the music to everything. So it's disrespectful when you want to put it on the plane, or you might have been the first individuals to come along and join the process from you being the one that created the process.
Well, we going with the words hip hop. When he say Latinos help create hip hop, well, how y'all help create hip hop when it wasn't even hip hop in the 80s? It was rap music only, bro. You started saying hip hop in the 90s. I lived it. I bought all the hot songs. And I'm gonna tell you something. I never listened to Eminem. A couple of hits, yeah, it was cool. I never listened to Big Pun. Them dudes wasn't my style of rap. He rapped too fast for me. It wasn't danceable.
Right. Yeah, remember we tried to
What are y'all trying to say, man? Hey, man, let me tell y'all something, bro. I
and you
remember when Tupac came on the scene in 91, 92,
yeah.
right? So them dudes wouldn't have never shined if Biggie and Tupac was because when Tupac put stuff out, people didn't even sell.
Well,
Facts.
and people fail to realize we can go back. They always talk about the fast rapping and stuff. People fail to realize people forgot about DOS Effects. DOS Effects back on the East Coast was bigger than it did all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
That's what we picked up, the ones rapping fast. Everybody trying to rap fast like them. You know what I'm saying? We want effects, DOS Effects. So it's just
Jazzo, you know what I'm saying?
But you know who really made it hot? Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
When Bone Thugs and Harmony came out,
and Twister,
they created that fast rap that they doing now.
Yeah, Po Pimp in the Midwest with Twister.
Po Pimp,
yeah, Twister too.
Just like the singing rap. Nelly started the singing rap.
Hold on.
Do or Die. You remember Do or Die?
And y'all can't forget about Chip Fu from the Foo Snickers.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Chip Fu from the Foo Snickers, he did it the best to me because you understood every word he was saying when he was doing it.
Yep.
Do y'all see how wide range we were and how they just cut all of our shit down to just a few people?
Even Tretch was dope with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, Disco Fever is one of the first real spots where all 5 boroughs came together, you know, to do this rap thing. And back then, it was mostly us that was up in there. And see, that's the difference too between the Bronx Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans in Brooklyn. Like the average Puerto Rican in Brooklyn that grows up in the projects mainly around, you know, us, even when you go into them institutions or whatever, they have a different way of carrying it from the Puerto Ricans up in the Bronx, you know? So a lot of times we don't distinguish when we talk about a group of people and how they act. Like my thing is, you know, I know white boys that were back when I first moved out there in 68 in Cypress in East New York, Brooklyn, that when all of them left out the projects, you had a few of them that stayed. And when they grew up, you know, some of the people, if they didn't know whether they was all white or not, they might identify them with being Puerto Rican because of the simple fact of the way that they carry themselves. Adaptation goes on wherever you at. So if you left in a certain type of environment and predominantly of that environment is black, even though you may be of a different pigmentation, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna adapt to those individuals that surround you. So that's where a lot of the conflict of interest come in at, because they just don't want to say, look, we adapted to what y'all was doing, and we was some of the first ones to adapt.
And here's the thing, and I'm gonna add to what you said. When you said adapted, but think about this. They only adapted because we allowed it. Everything they had to get the approval of us. They couldn't hang in the groups with us like Lord Jamal. We gave them a thumbs up. No matter how much they stayed back, they stayed back to get the acceptance. Everybody they cling to us, they want us to get the thumbs up. Once we get the thumbs up, they run brother, and leave us.
They played on that white man oppression to do that too. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew that we weren't gonna act like the white man, so we was divided to certain groups.
Hey, let me speak on that a little bit, bro. Do you think it might sting some people, but
hold on
I think that is.
Hold on one second, real quick. We got IOCK Israel Only Camp Killer, right? Bro, I was born and raised in the Bronx, Harlem, 1970s to 1990s. We rule rap. NYC rule rap. Nigga, if you don't knock it off.
Hey, but look, Born, let me say this.
Hold on 1 second. You go on timeout.
Go ahead and land. Go on, land.
Hey, look, let me say this. This is where I think a lot of stuff started. It's gonna sting some people, but I think a lot of division started when, as rap started getting outside of New York, it seemed like a lot of New Yorkers was like, no, that's whack. No, like everything had to be whack outside of New York, and everything inside of New York was dope, even though it could have been whack. And then all of a sudden, well, no, it started here. And then you got these other groups, like what Observer said. When you get these other groups that say, well, I live in New York, so I'm automatically hip hop. Now, because it was New York, it all of a sudden become dope. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you remember I said yesterday, instead of us fighting over where it came from, we still was learning from each other's region, and through the music, because you had some people at the time who never been outside of New York. You had some people from Cali who never been outside of Cali, and et cetera, et cetera. The music connected us all, but we fell into the who was the dopest, where did it come from, and the this, the that, and the third, and then other people, while we were sitting up fighting about whether NWA was better than Wu-Tang or this, that, and the third, other groups started coming in up under us. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you ask me, like, for example, like, say, Tekashi 6ix9ine wasn't supposed to have no career. That nigga wouldn't have had no career back in the 80s or 90s.
Well,
You get what I'm saying?
your
It's
boy
certain dudes.
Wack is promoting them still.
Yeah, but I'm saying before
Interesting.
Wack, you know what I'm saying? Where that nigga come from? Like, you remember rappers back then, y'all, especially when you was in New York, y'all grew up with a lot of them dudes. Y'all saw a lot of them dudes around them boroughs. So when
Them
they
dudes are
started rapping
crossover
and
artists.
got big, it wasn't no surprise to y'all when y'all saw them. But then look at where a lot of these new rappers come from. It's like, man, where the hell y'all even come from, bro?
Well, Big
Yeah,
E,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Big E, a lot of the stuff like with your boy, the six dude. His thing was he started off like all the rest of them, a cameraman watching our moves, recording our moves, probably taking them home and reenacting our moves to the point where he got enough, put enough money behind him. Like he tell the story, he used to be a waiter. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of them, and they're telling the stories, all them stories, and you get a bunch. Like I said, you get a bunch of us to back it. We like thinking like, well, damn, why you backing him? Well, maybe he might be cool, but then now we gotta evaluate because we say, well, damn, everybody can't be cool. Everybody can't be the coldest, right? Everybody can't be that, and that's the industry that they push that because they know we'll debate that, but
Well,
we'll also.
show your face, bro. Show your face.
So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I just feel like there's a lot of bandwagon jumping, and ain't that person got out there and say, "Hey, man, if it wasn't for this dude right here, or if the dude helped you, why is he not celebrated? Why are you not giving him the props, especially if you blowing up? Because you couldn't have done it without him. Yeah, you might have had a little talent, but he had to show you how to write the bars. He had to show you to stay on beat. He had to show you what to wear. He had to show you who to hang with." You see what I'm saying? All that before you can, and once they break the code of everything, how we rock and move, but it's always one thing to stand out and say, wait a minute, they ain't like us, but we don't say nothing.
Hey, I just
Well,
wanted to say something to the brother that was speaking on outside of New York and how we didn't take hold of individuals or thought that they was corny. Me, my perspective of it, you know what I'm saying, that music is universal. You know what I'm saying? So when I started hearing Cube, I started, NWA, Snoop, they was playing records that they was rapping on that I could identify with. Like when NWA came out with Father UC King, the Police, and all of that, I was like, yo, this is what's going on, because those of us that's out in the streets, because see, rap music covers all different dimensions of being able to speak on stories
Right.
about what you have been affiliated with. So, we come up to say from the time I'm coming from the 70s all up along with this. And now we get to when Onyx came around, Onyx came around, they came with throw your guns in the air. Me being righteous and conscious, I disliked them from the gate because I said this throwing the guns in the air it's going to change the perspective from it going from consciousness to street things or things like that. But the thing is that if you're a lover of music, you learn to accept them because even in their own expression, they're identifying with what's going on around them. So I could feel the music. And when I feel the music and I feel what a person is singing, then I have no choice but to like it. So once it started to spread, you got, everywhere where individuals was popping up, when just like the awards when Outkast first got up there, from the South or whatever. And we know even to this day, even though Andre be going off the bandwagon with this flute music and all that, but you got great rappers that's going to represent what's going on in the environment. The part that's messed up is that everything became commercialized. So now you got rappers afraid to express what's going on in their environment, because if it ain't about drugs, guns, or now how they turned our young queens into giving them all this money to talk about their booty hole is brown and everything else. All of these are subliminal suggestions that they put out there in order to be able to control the people, because they say music calms the savage beast. But if a beast is listening to savage music, then that's only going to make them more of a beast.
I think, and you know what's crazy?
exactly
Sir Mix-a-Lot wouldn't even be a rapper today. Sir Mix-a-Lot, they would say he weak, even though he was dope to me.
But Sir Mix-a-Lot is a pioneer. They can't say he weak. They can't say he dope because he made big money. He owned his own publishing and everything. Still do, right? So anybody in the 80s can never be dissed because they are pioneers of commercial rap.
No, I'm saying I'm saying from the fact that he was able to do everything you said, right, without having to be a gangster. You get what I'm saying? Like he was. It's like what my man just said. Back then, when you was a rapper, you was able to tell your story and it was dope. Today, you got to be a gangster. You got to be a bad beat. And I wanted to speak on this real quick to what a comment Jessica said before my mic started tripping. Jessica, yeah, you was right. You know what I'm saying? We have a problem with that B word, but then you can't say somebody like Trina. Trina had everybody calling themselves what? People even said it. She even said it.
Lil Kim.
They even
Lil
say
Kim
boss
too.
bees. Black women call themselves boss bees, right?
Yeah.
In a
So
positive
it's like,
light.
come on now. You refer to yourself as that. If you got money, if you paid, if you feel you doing what you need to be, you even see girls that's
Well, the South
19,
do that.
20, 21, 22 calling themselves that.
You remember
So all I'm
artists?
saying is it's not just us when you like it's like y'all took the word how kind of like how we took nigga. A lot of women took it and took that B word and ran with it. And if you doing pretty good for yourself, you can't tell her she's not no bad B.
And plus y'all also, it also go
It's all
different. If you
about
believe,
context.
and also if we gonna talk about the B word, we know it was an era where what did we say? That's my dog right there, referring to your bro. So that name probably could have, got pushed out there like this my female dog right here. 'Cause we know that's what it means. Like, I'm talking about that's like my you know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of ways that had got twisted up. But I wanted to talk about like how the hip hop stuff changed and OG hit it on the nose, but even the music that we hear from the females that it's like we look at it like, oh, it's getting pushed out there. As disgusting as we hear the music, but that's still the reality on what's going on outside these days with a large percentage, you know what I'm saying, of the black women in the hoods. It never a day in my life did I see so many grandmoms and all that turning up in clubs and all of that, basically running with the younger generation that they should be gotten. It's too much partying and too much recklessness now, you know what I'm saying? And the gangster music, what I feel like now is a lot of times the older artists, like the legendary artists, That's what they was doing. They was a lot of them was telling that story, but a lot of them wasn't in that. Nowadays, it's a lot of these young boys that are going viral on the internet, and they in that, and they in it while they doing it. They in it while they doing their success. So that type of music is what basically getting pushed is like the drill stuff.
And
As
we just
crazy as
saw what
that
happened to
music is.
Fulio, right?
Exactly.
You talking
So
about like what happened to Fulio, right?
exactly, Fulio. A lot of them, a lot of the young ones, and even ones that don't got as big of names that come from smaller cities and stuff like that. It's really going on like that. But that this is just everything elevates and changes. This is like the modern day stuff now. Now these guys is coming out like I'm really about that life. I'm rapping about it, but I really live it. So now these young boys got a point to prove these days.
Hey, but Twiz, it used to be a balance though. Like for all the gangster stuff, you still had Ed OG and the Bulldogs. You still had Ill and Al Scratch. You still had the X Clan. Somebody earlier said poor
Public
righteous
Enemy.
teachers.
Public
Public
Enemy.
Enemy, like you still had right. You still had these other groups. It's like today there is no balance. It's either drill rap or 304 rap.
You want to know
There
why?
is no other creativity.
You want to know why?
That's a fact.
Because we don't control what gets put out. The white man say, go back into the studio. I want you to rap about this. Or I'm not going to lay out this $5 million so you can blow up. So they go in and they do what the white people say. They're not speaking on the white men. They controlling the narrative in rap now. They been took it over.
But observer, let me ask you this then. I'm glad you said that, but let me ask you this. Okay. The white man tell you, go in there, I'm not gonna give you this $5 million, but then when he give you the $5 million, you gotta pay that back plus anyway. So he really ain't even giving you nothing.
Well, check it out. Check it out. A lot of people don't understand. You made the money. Now, what you did with it, that ain't none of my business. That's what these dudes, they're not saving their money. They're not investing it. Even the dudes in the 80s.
Right.
A lot of them dudes today should be 100 millionaires or billionaires. But they didn't
Okay, but what I'm
invest their
saying is,
money.
I don't think.
Maybe I'm mixed up. Okay, when they sign them deals, right, and
Right.
the record label give them all that money, right? Don't they have to normally? Don't they, or didn't they have to pay that back first?
Well, let me just say this.
Wasn't it more like an advance more than they broke you off?
Rap artists didn't get paid off the recordings. They got paid off the tours. That's why you toured. Man, LL Cool J, the Fat Boys, Kumo D, all them dudes in the 80s, man, they Ice-T, all of them, man, they was touring like crazy. They was getting 5 to 10 grand a show. If you did 1,000 shows in a year, what that come out to? And then as you blow up even more, now he started demanding 30,000 a show. LL Cool J, hey bro, I was around heavy. I took Heavy D and the boys and LL Cool J to White Castles when they came here. Them niggas had a pocket full. I mean, they pulled out some wads of money that was I had never seen. It was unreal.
So hold on, let me get this straight. So let me get this straight. You mean now we talking about back then when the album or that CD was damn near $20 a pop. So you mean to tell me
they were
that
$8.99, $7.99.
No, bro, a whole like that.
Yeah, the
Well,
shit's
it wasn't
changed
like
now,
that
bro.
out here.
When
Tower Records,
streaming
like
came
you might could
in,
have got an EP or a single for that, but a whole album wasn't no $8.99 out here, champ.
Hey, the cassettes were always under $10. And that's what sold more. You talking about CDs. When CDs came in mainly in the 90s, that's when it
Yeah, but
started
you
going
had
up.
vinyl too. You remember digging in the crates was them vinyl records. Like you had to go pay for them albums.
Hey, bro, I couldn't afford them albums, but I could afford that cassette tape.
Hey, do you
Right,
remember?
but that's what I'm saying. When you went and bought that album, that's what I'm saying. When you went and bought that whole like Michael Jackson, like that Thriller album was $18.99.
That was R&B though. R&B album sold. rap music sold mostly cassettes, and only DJs bought the vinyl because they would spin them for parties. But
right.
the
So you
cars were
saying, but
all
my
equipped.
question,
The cars were all equipped with cassettes in the 80s. Cassette
no,
tape.
but the question that I'm asking you, the question that I'm asking you is,
Okay.
if an artist sold 10 million albums, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get none of that money. He had to go on tour to get paid. That don't sound like a good deal,
No,
is what I'm
he
saying.
got hey, I'm gonna tell you a prime example, right? There's two brothers called the D2 twins. They behind all of Nelly's first two big album success and the Saint Lunatics, right? Nelly, had he went independent, he'd be stupid rich. Do you know they made off of both